Evening, ladies and gents. Welcome to Crypto Chat UK. It's just a quick off-the-cuff video. I'm in a bit of a rush. I do poker on a Thursday night, and I forgot it was Thursday night. I was going to do a load of research tonight on various subjects, but I just want to briefly tonight go over a couple of things. Just discuss a little bit ICO'S, mention a little bit about when you're thinking about investing, just to consider a few things to consider. Okay. This is just an off-the-cuff thing, so hopefully I won't trip up too much, and hopefully it'll be helpful. But before we do, let's have a quick look at the market anyway, and we'll have a quick look at it. I mean, it's currently 326 billion. I'll just refresh that, and we'll see, just 327 billion. There was like this thing where I thought it can't possibly go under 300 billion. There's always a chance it can, of course there is, but I'm kind of thinking it won't. I might be proven wrong, but I'm pretty confident it won't. Now, obviously, as I always say, I'm not a financial advisor, so anything I say now, it's up to you. It's only my opinion. It's up to you to do your due diligence and do your research. Take away some of the information I mention if you want, but obviously look into it in a deeper level to make sure it's what you want to invest in and so forth and what you want to use. Okay, but, quickie, I think, like I've said in my other video, there is bargains galore here. Even if they do go down some more, you've got some bargains. I'm going to discuss in another video, I've mentioned this before, the relation of circulating supply and what is a good one to invest in on how much the supply is. I normally go for 9 digits or less, but there is an 8 digits and so forth. I've mentioned before there is the exception to the rule. That is something like Ripple, like Cardano, and like Stellar. The reasons why they're exceptions. Now, I will be looking at that in other videos and discussing it. But there's some bargains. If you want under $1, you've got amazing ones on the safer options. These are the safer bets. If you want something that's kind of a lower risk, certainly at the top of here is essential, I believe. Ripple's great. I mean, even now with these drops, I got these at such a good price. It's still okay for me. People who got them in late December, early January, maybe might think they've got some issues, but I believe they're going to go sky high anyway, so you're going to get them. I don't believe Ripple will ever be above $10 to $15, but I will mention in a video why that is the case and why I think that's the case, okay? But if you want to have a look, have a good look. I've got most of these. I'm invested in most of these, but certainly a lot of them. There is a little website that's got the top 50 cryptocurrencies and that discusses these. I think it matches CoinMarketCap's list according to market capitalization, but there's a little paragraph about them, some things about them which is worth looking into, and then if you do find some that you're interested in, maybe follow on your research from there, make sure it's one that you want to go into. Now, first thing I want to mention is ICO'S. I think ICO'S are very important, it can be great, but you have got to be very, very careful. You can get burnt, particularly now. I think the people have got carried away with ICO'S. I think it's got totally carried away. I think there was too many bottlenecking up. I might be proven wrong, but it's giving you more chance to get burnt. I think you've got to look at the product very carefully and the ICO very carefully. Having said that, there's a few of my friends who've gone in a few, like BitDegree, for example, started at 7 cents and it's now 3 cents, but it did go up to 50 odd cents and more. I've got quite a lot of faith in BitDegree. I did get at different prices, so I'm at a loss on BitDegree itself. But I think the team's great, the product's great. I think it could be fantastic. Don't think there's anything dodgy going on with that at all. I think it came on at the wrong time, and the market dipped, crashed, and did what it did, and it's had these big drops. So it's potentially going to be still a biggie. But if you look at Icos, for example, you can get some of these. So if you are looking at ICO'S, like I say, be super, super cautious. Be extra cautious, do extra research, and make sure you're going on something that's perhaps either a product that fills a niche, a gap where there wasn't one, or I'd say certainly something that really is seriously fundamental to the blockchain and the crypto, something that perhaps short of maybe. Anyway, if you look at Ethos, for example, a quick look, just a brief look, that was at ICO, I think it was approximately 5 cents. It went up huge. I mean, it went up to before the little crash, we've had a little crash, big crash, $10.86 now. But if you look at that, if you got it at 5 cents, even now, the price it's at now, $2.52, and I think it was over $3 yesterday or the day before. you are still in a really good place. You couldn't be moaning. You might think you've had a loss because it went up to $10, but you haven't. You're still in a great place if you've got it ICO. So this is an example of what would be great. Now, Ethos, I'm a big into Ethos. I use that as an example quite often, but there is other ones as well. And that is, as the product comes out, if it proves to be what they say and what we think it's going to be, I think Ethos is going to be huge later on. So as the bearish market goes off a little bit and we get back into an uptrend and perhaps even a bullish market, you're going to see Ethos. They're releasing their first version or the first part of the product this month, as far as I know. So that should all go on. We'll see what happens there. Okay, there is other things like that, of course. So all I'm saying is the ICOs, be careful. Now, if you're doing any cryptocurrencies, you've got to be careful, of course. Now, we do talk about low risk, low reward. Now, more people talk about that than me, because I believe that there is some that you could see as low risk, but I believe can still be high reward. Now, they're the ones, when they say low risk, they're definitely meaning like the ones that are really substantial, definitely are locked into part of the blockchain. They've already got their feet under the table, and they are a fundamental piece of it, etc. There's loads of other reasons for it being that, but there you go. So, obviously, when they say low risk, low reward, you can discuss that with the circulating supply as well, which I'm going to go through on another video, like I've said. So I won't discuss that now. But I believe that some of the ones that are low risk can also be high reward. But then it's obvious, high risk, high reward ones as well. If you're looking at altcoins, there's some of the things that you need to consider, obviously, is the risk level, the potential for growth, the product itself. How important is it? Does it really need to be on the blockchain? Say with ICOs, does it really need to be on the blockchain? Is it really substantial? And does it really have the good potential? If an ICO or any crypto is just built on pure hype, then that's no good. For longevity, that is no good. So make sure it's something that is going to be long lasting. It isn't just built on hype. I made a couple of bad investments, I think. Still in profit or just slight loss on a couple. But if it's built on hype, your investment only, then you're potentially getting yourself in a risky position at a loss. So make sure, do your due diligence, do your research, and make sure that it's something that's really important to the blockchain, perhaps. Maybe is fundamental to blockchain, or maybe fills a need or a gap that it definitely is needed and will have a longevity in it. Okay, I always say look at the coin supply. I'm going to go through that, like I said. My numbers are less than 9 digits, certainly less than 8, sometimes even 7 digits. There can be negatives on that as well, on the size of the supply being small. There are the exceptions to the rules, like I've said. So have a good look at that. But I will do a video on supply and stuff at some point. I do try to stick to the fundamental cryptos. I do go off sometimes on something that looks interesting, that looks like it could be really needed. But I do try and stick to the stuff that's fundamentals, that's supporting the cryptocurrencies and the blockchain, and that potentially will increase the usage of the blockchain and the use of the cryptocurrencies. So make sure you think about them kind of things. I think there's a bit of saturation at the moment, a bottleneck, and there's a bit of an ICO gold rush. I think you've got to look at that. Quickly, just for you to research, if you are looking at alternative coins and ICOs, the different categories, this is just a brief, there is more to this, but there's currencies, so cryptos are like currencies, utility ones, there's obviously stuff built on the platforms or platforms to be built on, privacy coins, they're a mega thing, privacy coins are a big thing, and obviously other blockchains themselves, where they've created a blockchain themselves. I think they are substantial, and if they're doing it right, and you're talking about kind of like version 2s and so forth, if you think of Bitcoin at the moment as version 1 and Ethereum as version 2 and so on, you look at Neo and all these other ones, and they're adding more to them, scalability and other options and possibilities, then you can see how this is all happening and which ones to go for. And definitely I think the blockchains, the good ones, they are really important to look at. Okay, I'm just going to quickly show you this top 50. I think this is on Invest Blockchain, investinblockchain.com. Have a look at this site if you haven't looked at it already. It gives you a top 50. There's a brief on it. There's various things on this. First time I've looked at this site, but I do like the little paragraphs and sayings of what they've got on there, which will encourage you if there's anything on it. If you look down, there's Cardano, Neo. It's in the order, I think that's on CoinMarketCap, so it's in the same order. but it does give you a little brief description, and you can go from there and you can look. It can sometimes mention who they're partnered with, what they're about, etc., etc. And you can look, see all the big players are on there. You know, VeChain, which I'm in, Ethereum Classic I'm not, Lisk I'm in, that's really done me well. Nano, that used to be called, okay, what it used to be called now, but that was massive. I missed out. Oh, that's it. Sorry, formerly Rayblock. It's on there, yeah. So Rayblocks. Now I missed out on that. That went huge. I don't know what it is now. I won't look now. Not enough time. But that went absolutely huge. I think it's still high now, and I missed out on that. I think it was really cheap. I can't remember. It might have even been 15 cents at one point when I could have bought it, and I didn't get involved. Really regret that one. And Zcash. All these ones, right? Okay. So just have a good look around. Orientate yourself with that. And see what it's all about. The other one that some of you may have heard of before, but this is ATH, so all-time high, basically, of each crypto. Fantastic website and fantastic information. There's the current price, and there's its all-time high. One would love it to be at that now. And if you can look at the differences, so you can see what they can get to, and in my opinion, they will get to. Like I said before, I'm not a financial advisor, but I believe this is going to be even bigger than these digits that they've got here. So if you look at where you're getting entry points in now, or re-entry points in, you are getting some massive bargains. I mean, that was Cardano up to $1.33 was its max. ADA Cardano, do your research on that. You will see that that is, in my opinion, and many other people's opinion, going to be huge. So have a look through these sites, guys. I won't have time to do links. I've just got to post this video quite quickly because I've got my poker tournament, you know what I mean? I've got to go and win some trophies, hopefully. Anyway, if there is anything you want me to speak about, if this has been of use for you, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed already, then please subscribe because, as I've said before, I can do all the help I can get, and I hope to do more videos and help you guys out as well as myself, and I want to do more research. So if there is anything also you want me to look into, whether it's the basics, whether it's you know, a more intermediate or advanced, give us a shout. I've done my time on the cryptos. I've been basically spending day and night studying this stuff, so constantly on it, constantly looking at new things and seeing if there's any gaps in my knowledge. So let's get on it. Give us a shout if you need us to cover anything, and don't forget to hit that like button. But I will see you soon, guys.